4th of July weekend 2020. It's Jeff here again on Sunday, July 5th. Can you imagine living in total contentment, especially in the day and age we're living in today? Last week I was watching an old ESPN clip. Remember Jimmy Valvano and his 1993 EPSI award-winning speech? Even to this day, it's one of the most watched motivational speeches in history. What did he say? Whatever you do the very best that you can. Never, never give up. Well, if you're facing cancer, or you're facing the difficulties that we have right now, economically, people losing jobs, fear, those things, how can you possibly live in contentment? Well, Jimmy gave such incredible advice to us all. But you know what? I go back to the Bible where Paul said, cultivate a spirit of contentment. There are some things that we all got to do. Number one, never, ever allow yourself to complain about anything, not even the weather. 3 hours ago, it was pouring rain. You couldn't even see in front of you, and it's now clear as day. Have an expectation that things will always get better. 2, don't imagine yourself to be anywhere other than where you are. Just think about it. God planted you to be where you are right now. Nowhere else. It's His perfect place for you. Know and live in expectation of something good happening because He's providing for you. 3, don't ever, ever compare yourself to someone else's situation. You know, there's an old story about Jesus sharing his perspective on bearing a cross. And one of his disciples came up to him one day and said, Jesus, I can't carry the cross that I'm bearing right now. It's just too much for me. Then he showed him this whole field of cross. He says, have your pick. And the disciple went, and he went to go grab it. He said, this is my cross. And the good Lord said, this is what I have for you all along. So don't ever look to compare your situation. Live in the moment that God has given you. 4, God loves you more than you could ever love yourself. And He has your best at heart. Never doubt that. Otherwise, you're going to live in regret. And that's a tool of the evil one. We don't want to ever live in regret. He uses that against you. Live in your moment, I continue to say. Have the discipline to live in that moment and not get stuck in yesterday. Never dwell on tomorrow, because then that's fear. God's not going to take care of me now. I'm going to live in fear. I'm going to dread tomorrow? No. Tomorrow will take care of itself. It's in God's hands. He is all sufficient all the time, and He will provide for you. He's got a name, Jehovah Jireh. He's got another cooler name, El Shaddai. He's the guy who shows up and is fully sufficient. So when you think about living this last half of the year, focus on the discipline to build a life and culture of contentment in your mind that will be infectious to all. Have a great day.